Welcome to Jersey Line. Pat O'Melia here, your pro football prognosticator. Had a rough week. We went 6-8. They were like incredible upsets. You know, it's so Jekyll and Hyde. Even the halftime shows for the football games are saying the same thing. You just can't predict how a team is going to be from week to week anymore. But I did all right with the FanDuel, so we basically broke even. We're still at like $119. So I think we're down $3 for the week, so that's okay. I can live with that. Got my cold coffee. Remember, bet with your head, don't bet a lot. FanDuel, you can bet like $5 just to have a little skin in the game, make it a little interesting. You got next week, we're going to go early next week because you got 3 games on Thursday, Thanksgiving. But let's get this week out of the way, and we'll work on next week. Thursday, FanDuel bet, we got New England at Atlanta. Atlanta, they started out okay. You knew they weren't going to do well. Matty Ryan, you just can't discount them. They got rid of Julio Jones. He went to Tennessee. But the last 2-3 weeks, they're getting walloped, 20, 30 points. New England is putting up points. They just put like a 50-burger up on the Jets recently. I'm going to ride with New England. I'm going to take New England -7 in Atlanta. Over-under is 43.5. I take New England on that. 1 o'clock game, you got Detroit at Cleveland. There's another wide receiver. Beckham's gone. It really did good for me with the Rams. Beckham's gone. Now you got another wide receiver. There's a morale problem with Cleveland. Detroit didn't lose last week, but they didn't win. They tied. I'm going to ride with Detroit against Cleveland because they're eventually going to win, even though they did set the record years ago of 0-16. I'm going to go with Detroit +10 at Cleveland. Over/under 43.5. FanDuel game here, 1 o'clock, San Francisco at Jacksonville. San Francisco obliterated the Rams, and I had the Rams. Again, you don't know who's showing up from week to week with these football teams. Frisco looks like they can run the ball. Jimmy G can throw the ball. Got a resurgence there. I'll go with San Francisco at Jacksonville, even though Jacksonville's coming off a win. I'm going to take Jacksonville. I'm going to take San Francisco -6.5, over/under 45.5. 1 o'clock game, Indianapolis at Buffalo. Buffalo is going to be mad after losing to Jacksonville. They're going to be very mad. Look for Buffalo to really pour it on. I'm going to take Buffalo at home, -7.5, over/under 50. 1 o'clock game, the Jetsies. FanDuel, Jetsies, 1 p.m., Miami at Jets. Flacco was starting. Really a waste of time starting Flacco. You got to find out what you have with White and Wilson. Wilson isn't ready yet, but I would run White out there again, but I'm not the coach. I'm going to go with Miami, -3, over/under 45. 1 o'clock game, Washington at Carolina. Look for Cam Newton to start. He went for a few plays last week. He ran for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown. Look for him to start. Is it the best thing? I would go with P.J. Walker. He looked pretty damn good last week. And a guy who played in the XFL. But Cam may start, so I don't know how that's going to change the line. I'm taking Washington either way. +3.5, over/under 43. 1 o'clock game, Baltimore at Chicago. Now, it depends what Baltimore team shows up. I'm going to take Baltimore because the Baltimore Ravens may show up for the game. You never know. I'm going to take Baltimore -6 at Chicago, over/under 45.5. 1 o'clock game, New Orleans. No matter what I do with New Orleans, I always pick it wrong. So keep that in mind as I tell you my opinion of this game. I'm going to take Philadelphia at home, -1.5 against New Orleans. I've yet to pick right against New Orleans. 1 p.m., Houston at Tennessee. Tennessee, it was, all gas, no brakes with them for quite a while. In the last couple weeks, they started playing down to their competition. They're winning, but they're playing down. Houston got 10.5. I think Tyrod Taylor will start this week. Yeah, that's a lot of points, 10.5 in the way Tennessee's been playing. I'm going to go with Houston, plus 10.5, over under 44.5. 4 o'clock game, Green Bay at Minnesota. You got to go with Green Bay. But look for this could be a high-scoring game here. I'm going to go with Green Bay at Minnesota. Green Bay minus 2.5, over under 49. 4 o'clock, Cincinnati at Las Vegas Raiders. Whatever problem it is with this week for the Raiders, the Raiders always start off hot, and then they lose like the last 6 games of the season. They're in that lose the rest of the season mode. Cincinnati is a good team. They hit some bumps in the road. Got a great quarterback in the kid Burrows. I'm going to take Cincinnati minus 1, over under 50. 4 o'clock game, Arizona at Seattle. What Arizona's going to show up? Not sure. I don't know if Murray's going to play, Barkley's going to play. Who knows who's going to play? And Russell Wilson is back, but the team isn't right, Seattle, this year. There's something wrong, and they had problems at the beginning of the year. Russell wanted to be traded. I think Russell's either going to go or Pete Carroll's going to go. And when it comes down to that, it's usually the coach. But I'm going to go with Arizona, minus 2.5, over under 49. Probably the game of the week. FanDuel for me. Dallas at KC. KC finally looked like KC last week, and thankfully I won with them. I'm going to take Dallas. This is going to be a shootout. I think Dallas right now, offense with Prescott is a little bit better. I think their defense is a lot better than KC's. Problem is McCarthy's on the sideline. He does some weird time management and some odd decisions. I'm going to go with Dallas at KC, plus 2.5, over under, probably the highest over under I've seen this year, 56. 8 o'clock game, Pittsburgh at Los Angeles Chargers. Never get used to saying that. I'm going to take the Chargers, minus 5.5, against a very old Pittsburgh team and a very old Ben. Chargers, minus 5.5, over under 47. And Monday night, as you see, I'm in the white. We're on the road. The Giants are in Tampa Bay. Giants plus 11. You know what? I'm going to go with the Giants plus 11. Brady doesn't do well since he's been in Tampa Bay on the late games. If it's an 8 o'clock or a 9 o'clock game, a late Sunday, a late Thursday, or Monday night, he's 0-7 versus the spread. This is a huge spread. I'm going to take the Giants. Yes, me, taking my own Giants. Plus 11, over under 49.5. Remember, bet with your head. Don't bet too much money. Get ready for Thanksgiving. Again, we'll do this, probably do this Wednesday next week. Enjoy the games. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.